My name is Georgia Brown. I'm very happy to be here, and I just wanted to mention first off a little bit of history of myself. My grandfather is Frank Calder, and my late grandfather on my mom's side had named me, I can only say in English, is the girl who gathers children. And my dad is a late Chief Gedam Galdo. And I'd recently found out that my dad was from Hazelton, and my mom is from La Calzap. My name is Georgia Brown, and I'm a grandmother of 2 young children on income assistance, and both of my grandsons have special needs. Like many Indigenous people, my family has been severely affected by trauma from the residential schools and the foster system. I would say that this is a domino effect from residential schools that we are dealing with today as Indigenous people. And I see that not only is it the foster care system, I feel that part of our trauma is dealing with poverty. And I believe poverty is just an inkling of a result for the residential schools that we're feeling, and which brings our life full of challenges, and living in poverty making a little bit more like a domino effect in our children. Because the income assistance rates are so low, I personally constantly have to juggle to try to feel that just our family, relying on community programs, which I was doing once a week. I would just say Mondays we would go to Mount Pleasant, family get together. Tuesday nights we go to Cedar Cottage, get together, and Thursday nights we would go to Friendship Center and get together. All these are family oriented with children involvement. You would get your bus tickets to get there, get a meal set for you for the whole family, and then separate, and then everyone do their activities. But now that funds are going low for different areas of community, now Mount Pleasant has been set down to once a month, which has caused overpopulation with that program in particular. They had mentioned they had to cut it down to once a month, so now we all have to find out, like, what are we going to do? Where are we going to go now? So this is one of our challenges that we had to meet for Monday nights, was to find another program to go to, whereas Cedar Cottage now, because of the same system that they're going through, instead of just going to the program and signing up for it, now we have to RSVP it because of there's not enough room to feed everybody at the same time in one night. And Thursday nights, a similar thing at the Friendship Center, where there is all these programs. What seems to be happening is they're overloading in the community, overloading, which also branch off to bus systems and the transit system, where everyone is overloading. And off the charts, a lot of times I could say that straight up front, where in order to get to these programs, because sometimes these programs don't always have bus tickets, is in order for me to get to these programs, I would have to hop the bus and hop the back of the bus and to get to the programs and to make things work for the family. And then if that doesn't work for the week, and then we'd make things work out in the neighborhood. It gets challenging at times. It gets very challenging at times. A lot of times you're not going to say to your family, you can't express to your children, whether your children or your grandchildren, you don't have enough for the next week. You don't have enough to make it stress. You can't express it to them because you want to make their life better than yours. You want to make their challenges less pressure than yourself, than what we're feeling today. The only way I could express to the children is just one day at a time to move forward. With too little money to buy groceries, the loss of access to these weekly meals created a crisis for us at times. And at times I find in myself to just have the regular coffee, the regular toast, and just make sure all the children are fed, and just, the life in a city is very busy, very busy. It may seem to another person that, you're just another grandparent. You're just another grandparent. You're just another grandmother. But the life in the city, raising grandchildren, can be quite challenging, especially in a growing city. And Vancouver you can see with the population, it's growing. It's growing with what do you call those, the traffic jams we have, you name it. We got lineups excessively happening all over the place. We would like to have enough money to buy food for our family. As it's been mentioned by Adrian in our report, I believe what struck me was Alberta, was a Quebec that had over $1,200 a month. $1,200 a month on child benefit. And BC is a growing province. And Quebec had $1,200 a month for children ages 0 to 18. And then when that report compared to all the provinces, BC only had just over $600, and that only secluded the children 0 to 6. Now I would like to challenge the province to expand that, not only to leave it at, to expand that from 0 to 6, not from 0 to 6, but from 0 to 18. And then challenge that even more to raise the rates from over $600 to match Quebec's over $1,200 per month per child from 0 to 18 years old. My name is Georgia Brown, and thank you for listening to me.